Day one, decide. Decide who you are. Because until you make a decision about who you want to be, you're just drifting. Like a ship without a compass, you'll move wherever the waves push you. And the waves don't care about your dreams. They don't care about your purpose. They'll crash you into rocks, drag you off course, leave you lost in the fog. But the moment you decide, truly decide, suddenly the direction clears. You stop moving with the wind and you start moving with intent. I remember when I was younger, I had all these voices in my ear, teachers, friends, strangers, even family. Everybody had an opinion. Be this, do that, don't try that, you'll fail at this. And I listened for a while. I let other people's opinions weigh me down like chains around my ankles. And every step I took felt heavy, unsure. But the day I decided, the day I looked in the mirror and said, this is who I am and this is where I'm going, those chains broke. And I realized something powerful. The world respects a person who knows where they're going, even if they don't agree with it. Decision is not about shouting. It's not about making some loud announcement. It's about drawing a line in the sand for yourself. It's about saying no more wandering, no more waiting, no more maybe. Decision is the birthplace of destiny. Without it, you stay stuck. With it, you ignite a fire that nothing can put out. You stop asking for permission to live and start commanding your own path. Most people never decide. They float. They hope. They dabble. And life passes them by because hesitation is a thief. It robs you of opportunity. It robs you of time, robs you of courage. But when you decide, it's like slamming a gavel in a courtroom. Boom, case closed, no appeal, no second guessing, no turning back. And that kind of clarity makes you dangerous. Dangerous to doubt, dangerous to fear, dangerous to every obstacle standing in your way. So on day one, that's where it begins. Not with action, not with results, not with applause. It begins with decision. Because a weak decision makes a weak life. A strong decision makes an unstoppable life. And once you've decided, once you've locked it deep inside your spirit, the universe begins to align. Doors begin to crack open. Opportunities begin to reveal themselves. Not because the world changed, but because you did. A2, discipline over desire. Because desire will lie to you. Desire will tell you, take it easy. You deserve a break. Skip it just this once. Tomorrow is always there. But discipline is the truth teller. Discipline whispers back, if you stop now, you'll regret it. If you cut corners, you'll pay the price. If you let comfort win, you'll never taste greatness. And that battle between desire and discipline is fought every single day inside of you. The question is, who's going to win? I've seen people with big dreams, big talent, big ambition, but no discipline. And they fade away. They burn bright for a moment, but without discipline, the fire dies. Because desire will get you started, but it's discipline that carries you across the finish line. Think about it. Everybody wants success when it feels good. But unstoppable people, they show up even when it feels bad. They show up tired. They show up broken. They show up when the world thinks they're done. Because discipline is not about how you feel. It's about what you've committed to do, regardless of how you feel. When I was grinding through my own journey, there were mornings I wanted to stay in bed, nights when I wanted to give up, when it felt easier to walk away than to keep pushing. But I learned something. If you only work when you feel like it, you'll never get anywhere. Feelings are fickle. They change with the wind. Discipline is steady. Discipline is the anchor in the storm. Discipline is doing the extra rep when your muscles are screaming. It's writing one more page when your eyes are heavy. It's studying for an hour when everyone else is watching TV. It's not glamorous. It's not pretty, but discipline is the soil where greatness grows. Because when discipline takes over, you no longer depend on motivation. You no longer depend on excitement. You fueled by commitment. And here's the truth. Discipline will hurt. It will demand sacrifice. It will demand that you say no to things that give you short-term pleasure so you can build long-term power. But every time you choose discipline over desire, You strengthen your character. You toughen your mind. You train your spirit to rise above weakness. That's when you stop being average. That's when you start becoming unstoppable. Day 3, faith in the fire. Because let me tell you something, life is not going to hand you victories wrapped up in ribbons. Life is going to test you. It's going to knock you down, press you hard, and throw you into the flames. And in those flames, people break. Dreams collapse, hope fades, but not you. Because faith in the fire is what separates the fragile from the unstoppable. I remember seasons in my own life where everything seemed to fall apart. Doors slammed in my face, rejections piled up. I questioned myself, my worth, my future, and it felt like I was standing in the middle of a fire, heat burning from every direction. But here's what I discovered. Fire has 2 purposes. It either destroys you or it refines you. And faith is what decides which one it'll be. See, anyone can smile when the sun is shining. Anyone can believe when the road is smooth. But true faith shows up in the storm. Faith says, I don't see the way right now, but I know there's a way. Faith says, this pain has a purpose. This struggle is shaping me. And that's when the fire becomes your friend. Because the same fire that melts weak metal is the same fire that hardens steel. Faith in the fire is about holding on when everything around you tells you to let go. It's about standing tall when the ground beneath you is shaking. It's about believing that your story isn't over, even when the chapter looks dark. And the beauty of fire is this. It strips away what you don't need. It burns off the doubt, the fear, the hesitation, until what's left is pure, strong, unshakable. You can't pray for strength and expect life to stay easy. Strength is built in resistance. You can't ask to be unstoppable and expect no storms. The storms are the training ground. The fire is the gym where your spirit lifts its heaviest weight. And faith? Faith is the voice inside you saying, I will not break here. I will rise here. Because when you walk through fire and keep your faith intact, you come out not just alive. You come out transformed. You come out tougher, wiser, sharper, unstoppable. That's the power of day 3, day 4. Sacrifice comfort, because comfort is a silent killer. It looks harmless. It feels good. It whispers, stay here, rest here. You've done enough. But comfort is where dreams go to die. Nothing great has ever been born in comfort. Every champion you admire, every leader you respect, every giant that ever walked this earth, they all paid a price. They gave up ease. They gave up convenience. They gave up what was comfortable for what was necessary. I've seen people with incredible potential waste their lives because they chose comfort. They had the talent, they had the ability, but they wanted the easy road. And the easy road leads nowhere. Comfort tells you to take the shortcut, but shortcuts cut your destiny short. Comfort tells you to relax when you should be grinding, to quit when you should be pushing, to stay small when you were meant to be great. I remember nights where I was exhausted, where my body was begging me to stop, where my mind said, just rest, just slow down. And yet something deeper inside me knew if I wanted to rise, I had to bleed a little. I had to sweat a little. I had to give more than I thought I had, because sacrifice is the admission fee for greatness. Nobody walks into success for free. You pay in time. You pay in sweat. You pay in loneliness. You pay in pain. Sacrifice means giving up what's good for what's greater. It means saying no to things that keep you average so you can say yes to things that make you exceptional. It means trading your comfort zone for your growth zone. And yes, it hurts. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But that pain, that's the price of progress. And here's the truth. Most people won't pay it. They'll talk about success. They'll dream about success. But when it comes time to sacrifice, they'll back out. They'll cling to comfort like a blanket, and they'll wonder why their life never changes. But not you. Not if you want to be unstoppable, because being unstoppable means you're willing to hurt today so you can shine tomorrow. It means you choose the struggle now so you can hold the crown later. Sacrifice comfort, because the greatest version of you doesn't live where it's easy. It lives where it's hard. It lives in the stretch, in the sacrifice, in the space where you give up what you want now for what you need most. And if you can make that trade, you'll discover something the comfortable never will. You'll discover greatness. Day 5, build relentless focus. Because without focus, your strength is scattered. You can have energy, you can have ambition, you can have drive, but if it's all over the place, it means nothing. Focus is the difference between a candle and a laser. A candle lights up a room, but a laser cuts through steel. And if you want to be unstoppable, you can't afford to just shine. You've got to cut through. Distractions are everywhere. Every notification, every noise, every voice pulling you in 100 directions. And most people live their lives fragmented, chasing everything, accomplishing nothing. But the unstoppable, they cut the noise. They lock in. They protect their attention like it's gold, because it is. Time you waste, you never get back. Energy you scatter, you never recover. And the world will gladly steal your focus if you let it. I've seen people who had all the tools, all the resources, all the opportunities, but they were chasing 10 things at once. And in the end, they held nothing, because a divided mind produces a divided life. But when you focus, when you put blinders on and say, this is it, this is where my energy goes, this is where I'm putting everything I've got, that's when mountains start moving. When I was chasing my own goals, I had to learn to cut people off, cut habits off, cut comfort off, not because I didn't care, but because I cared too much. I knew if I let myself get pulled in every direction, I'd lose the one direction that mattered. And here's the truth. People won't understand your focus. They'll call you cold. They'll call you selfish. They'll call you obsessed. But obsession is just focus with fire in it. And obsession builds empires. Relentless focus means waking up with your mission on your mind. It means saying no when your body wants to say yes to distraction. It means turning down what's easy so you can build what's eternal. And it means refusing to let your life become a story of what could have been, because you couldn't sit still long enough to see it through. The unstoppable know that focus is power. And when you direct that power at one goal, one mission, one destiny, nothing, no setback, no enemy, no storm can stop you. Because life bends to the will of the focused. And once you master your focus, you master your future. Day 6, pressure creates diamonds. And I want you to let that sink in, because most people run from pressure, but pressure is not your enemy. Pressure is the very thing that forges you into what you're meant to be. Without pressure, coal stays coal. With pressure, it becomes a diamond. The question is, will you break under it, or will you let it shape you? I've been in moments where the weight felt unbearable, expectations heavy on my back, responsibilities stacked up like bricks, eyes watching, waiting for me to slip. And in those moments, I had two choices: collapse under the weight or rise with it. And every time I chose to rise, I came out sharper, tougher, more dangerous than before. Because pressure doesn't just reveal who you are, it creates who you're becoming. Most people pray for an easy life. They beg for no problems, no struggles, no pressure. But an easy life produces soft people. And soft people break when the storm comes. The unstoppable understand this: Pressure is a privilege. Pressure means you've been trusted with something heavy. Pressure means you're being prepared for something greater. Pressure means you're being stretched into the person you need to become. Think about the strongest athletes, the greatest leaders, the icons we admire. They didn't get there without pressure. They were tested, crushed, doubted, counted out. And instead of folding, they leaned into it. They let the pressure refine them. They let it push them past limits they didn't know they could cross. That's why their victory shines so bright, because they were birthed out of struggle. When you feel that pressure pressing down, don't see it as punishment, see it as preparation. Don't ask why me, ask why not me. Because the truth is, pressure is God's way of saying, I'm getting you ready for something bigger. I'm molding you into someone stronger. And here's the secret. Diamonds don't shine until they've been cut. So yes, you will feel cut. You will feel broken. You will feel like pieces of you are being chipped away. But those cuts are what give you your brilliance. Those cuts are what make you valuable. Those cuts are what make you unstoppable. So the next time life presses you, don't run. Don't fold. Push back. Stand firm, because the weight on your shoulders today is the crown you'll wear tomorrow. And only those who can handle the pressure ever get to wear it. And the two who stand at the hammer, every loving, become prophetic. So the next time life presses you to stand for day 7, walk alone, stand tall, because the truth is, the higher you climb, the lonelier it gets. Everyone wants to stand at the top of the mountain, but few are willing to make the climb. And on that climb, you'll notice people fall away. Friends who once laughed with you won't understand you. Family who once supported you will start questioning you. Strangers will doubt you, mock you, call you crazy. And if you're not ready to walk alone, you'll never taste the life you were meant to live. When I started chasing my path, I thought everybody who clapped for me would walk with me. I thought support was guaranteed. But let me tell you, applause fades quick when the road gets rough. People disappear when sacrifice becomes real. And I had to learn, walking alone is not a punishment, it's a process. It's the universe stripping away the noise so you can hear your own voice. Walking alone teaches you things no crowd ever will. It teaches you resilience, because when there's nobody to lean on, you learn to lean on yourself. It teaches you conviction, because when nobody else believes, you learn to believe deeper. It teaches you courage, because when you've got no one standing beside you, you find the strength to stand anyway. And that's what makes you unstoppable. Most people won't take this path. They'll cling to the comfort of company, even if it keeps them small. They'll follow the crowd, even if the crowd is lost, but not you. If you want to be unstoppable, you must be willing to embrace solitude, because solitude is where greatness is born. In the silence, your vision gets clearer. In the isolation, your will gets stronger. In the loneliness, your character is carved. And here's the thing. Walking alone doesn't mean you'll always be alone. Eventually, the right people will find you. The ones who understand your grind, who share your vision, who respect your discipline. But first, you must walk the lonely road, because only those who can stand tall in solitude are strong enough to lead when the crowd finally gathers. So when you find yourself alone on your journey, don't shrink, don't doubt, don't quit. Stand taller, walk harder, move with even more fire. Because the moment you learn to walk alone with confidence, you become unstoppable in any crowd, in any storm, in any battle. Loneliness isn't weakness. It's the forge that builds unbreakable strength. The power of consistency. That's the secret most people overlook because everyone wants the explosion, the overnight success, the big leap. But the truth is, greatness doesn't come in leaps. It comes in steps. Small, steady, daily steps. Consistency is what separates the dreamers from the doers. Anybody can show up once. Anybody can give effort for a day, a week, maybe even a month. But consistency is showing up long after the excitement has faded. Long after the applause has stopped. Long after motivation has gone silent. I've met people who were brilliant, talented, gifted beyond measure. They could light up a room with their ideas, but they lacked consistency. They started strong, but every time it got hard, every time it got boring, every time it demanded patience, they fell off. And all that potential went to waste because potential without consistency is nothing. It's like planting a seed but never watering it. You'll never see the harvest. When I was chasing my own path, I realized something important. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to do everything in one day. You don't need to move mountains in a moment. What you need is to do something every day that brings you closer to the peak. That's how you build momentum. That's how you create habits. That's how you turn discipline into destiny. Consistency is the quiet grind. It's not glamorous. Nobody cheers for you when you get up early 5 days in a row. Nobody celebrates when you say no to distractions 10 times in a week. But over time, those small choices stack up brick by brick until you've built something unshakable. And when people finally notice, they call it luck, they call it talent, but you know the truth. It was consistency. And here's the thing about consistency. It compounds. The more you do, the stronger you get. The stronger you get, the more you can do. The more you can do, the further you go. It's like interest in a bank account. You don't see it much in the beginning, but keep depositing. And one day you'll look up and realize you've built a fortune of strength, wisdom, and success. The unstoppable understand that consistency is their superpower. They don't quit when it gets quiet. They don't stop when the results are slow. They keep planting, keep building, keep moving, because they know that even when it feels like nothing's changing, something is. And one day, all those small hidden victories will break open into something undeniable. Consistency is proof that you don't just want it. You're willing to live for it. And when you master consistency, you master the art of becoming unstoppable, unshakable confidence. That's the kind of confidence that doesn't shout, doesn't boast, doesn't need to prove anything to anybody. It just exists, steady as a rock, unmovable, no matter what storm comes. And here's the thing. Real confidence isn't built on compliments, likes, or applause. Real confidence is built in the dark, when nobody's watching, when nobody's clapping, when it's just you putting in the work over and over again. Seen people fake confidence, they puff their chest, they talk loud, they put on a show, but the moment life hits them, they crumble because their confidence was built on sand. But the unstoppable, their confidence is built on stone, on sweat, on sacrifice, on the proof of their own effort. That's why you can't shake them. They know what they've done. They know what they've survived. They know what they've built. I remember times when nobody believed in me, when the room went silent at my ambition, when people smirked at my goals. And it hurt, yes, but it also taught me something powerful. If you rely on other people to validate you, you'll always be fragile, because the same people who cheer today can boo tomorrow. But when your confidence comes from within, when it comes from the late nights, the early mornings, the days you didn't quit, then no critic, no hater, no doubter can take it away. Unshakable confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance says, I'm better than you. Confidence says, I'm better than who I used to be. Arrogance is fragile. It depends on comparison. Confidence is eternal. It depends only on growth. And when you build it through discipline, sacrifice, and consistency, it becomes armor. Every rejection bounces off it. Every failure sharpens it. Every setback feeds it. You want to know what unshakable confidence looks like? It's standing in front of a locked door and saying, if it doesn't open, I'll build my own. It's hearing, you can't, and replying, watch me. It's walking into the fire knowing you might get burned, but believing you'll rise stronger. That kind of confidence isn't given, it's earned. And once you have it, you become unstoppable. Because while others are waiting for approval, you're moving. While others are doubting themselves, you're acting. While others are folding under pressure, you're pushing through it. Unshakable confidence doesn't mean you'll never feel fear. It means fear will never control you. It means even when your knees shake, you still move forward. It means even when your hands tremble, you still hold on. And that's the power of it. With unshakable confidence, you don't just face life. You command it. You don't just survive the storm. You walk through it with your head high, your shoulders back, your spirit untouchable. That's the kind of confidence that makes the world step aside. That's the kind of confidence that makes you truly unstoppable. The call to action. 7 days is the spark, but unstoppable is forever. 7 days is not the finish line. It's the ignition. It's the test that proves to you what's inside you. Because once you've walked through decision, discipline, faith, sacrifice, focus, pressure, and solitude, you don't go back to ordinary. You don't go back to average. You can't. The taste of power, the taste of growth, the taste of becoming more than you were, it changes you. And now the question is, what will you do with it? Most people hear a message, feel the fire, nod their head, clap their hands, and then they go right back to comfort. Right back to the same patterns, the same excuses, the same cycle of maybe next time. But you're not most people. You've already made it this far. You've already seen what 7 days of true commitment can feel like. Now imagine what 7 weeks could do. 7 months, 7 years. Imagine what a lifetime of unstoppable living would create. This is not about a quick burst of energy, not about chasing a high. This is about rewiring your life. This is about planting a flag in the ground and saying, from this moment forward, I live different. From this moment forward, I rise. From this moment forward, I will not be moved. That's the call. That's the challenge. That's the charge. And I'll tell you the truth. It won't be easy. People will doubt you. Obstacles will try to break you. Your own mind will whisper for you to stop. But you already know the path. You already know the steps. Decide. Discipline, faith, sacrifice, focus, pressure, solitude, consistency, confidence. Those aren't just words. They are weapons. And now they're in your hand. So here's my call to you. Don't just finish these 7 days. Live them every day. Don't let this fire fade when life goes back to normal. Don't let this energy dissolve when the world gets loud again. Keep it burning, feed it, guard it, because the world doesn't need another person who almost made it, who almost tried, who almost lived. The world needs you fully alive, fully committed, fully unstoppable. And now we stand at the end of these 7 days, but really this is the beginning. You've walked through decision, discipline, faith, sacrifice, focus, pressure, solitude, consistency, and confidence. And what you hold in your hands now is not just a blueprint, it's a weapon. You've proven to yourself that you can endure, you can push, you can rise. You've proven that unstoppable is not something you're born with. It's something you build day by day, choice by choice, step by step. And when you build greater than anything that you're ever building. The question is no longer, can you do it? You already have. The question is, will you keep going? Will you take the fire you lit in 7 days and carry it into 70, into 700, into the rest of your life? Because this doesn't end with a speech. It doesn't end with applause. It ends with you alone, staring at the next mountain, deciding once again to climb. The world will test you. Life will push back. Doubt will return. But now you have the tools. You know how to fight. You know how to rise. And when people look at you, when they see your discipline, your resilience, your confidence, they won't just see a man or woman. They'll see a force. They'll see someone who cannot be shaken, cannot be broken, cannot be stopped. So take this with you. Don't let it fade. Don't let it die. Let it burn hotter, brighter, stronger with every passing day. Because you were not made to be average. You were not made to blend in. You were not made to settle. You were made to be unstoppable. And now it's time to prove it.